We are team three, and we're gonna present about alternative dispute resolutions in civil cases. Topic two: negotiation in civil dispute resolution. The first is discussion question. In civil dispute resolution, what are the advantages of negotiation over mediation and arbitration? In what cases does negotiation become possible? Is the most informal of the three processes involving direct discussions between the parties involved to reach an agreement and gives both parties control over the outcome without the assistance of a third party like an arbitrator or mediator. Advantages of negotiation. We have flexibility. Negotiation offers complete freedom to the parties involved to structure the process in terms according to their preferences. And the next advantage is control. The parties involved have total control over the outcome without the third party making decisions on their behalf. And the last one is cost effective. Negotiation can be the most affordable option since it does not require outside professionals like arbitrators or many cases where negotiation come possible. First is a willingness of both parties. The only real limitation is the willingness of both parties to come to the table and work towards a solution without mutual cooperation. Negotiation is unlikely to succeed. And the second one is rigid positions and emotional distress. When parties become rigid, angry, inflexible due to positional bargaining, an agreement becomes less likely. And the last one is the breakdown of communication. Negotiation can fail when there's a breakdown in open and transparent communication. If a party is unreasonable, rude, or attacks the other person's character, the negotiation may not progress. The second question is about comparing three negotiation models: distributed, integrative, and mixed model. The three models can be compared based on the fundamental roles and relationship between parties and the type of problem they address. So first one is the distributed. Goal is to win a claim by the mindset of conflict, and the mindset of distributed is mindset of conflict and contestation. The relationship is often adversarial, whereas in integrity, the goal is to create value and achieve a win-win outcome. Mindset is a focus on mutual benefit. The relationship is seen as symbiotic and cooperative. Mixed model, the goal is to claim value on some issues while creating values on others. And the mindset is acknowledge both competitive and cooperative behaviors. The relationship is both conflict and cooperation, reflecting the complex, bifurcated nature of real-world relationships. So, which party often uses distributed logic? Distributed bargaining is most often used by a party who has a competitive goal and is focused on short-term gains. So you can see in scenarios like salary negotiations, price bargaining for a housing car, any situation where parties have a win-lose plan. And so which party often uses integrated bargaining? In a negotiation, any party that seeks to build a long-term positive relationship has an incentive to move towards integrated partly. So you can see when there's a need to preserve the relationship, the goal is to create value. In the five, come to the question 3 in the 5-step negotiation process. Which stage is the most important for determining success? And what is the preparation step underestimated? So in the 5-step, the preparation and planning is the most important stage for determining success. Over 80% of the negotiation outcome is commonly achieved in the pre-negotiation phase. This initial state is considered the most critical because it defines objectives and strategies. During preparation, you define your goals, understand your priorities, and determine your best alternative to a negotiated argument. This gives you a clear sense of what you're willing to accept and when you should walk away from a deal. And this stage is considered the most also like the most critical, also because it provides a clear picture of the picture of the negotiation. The primary step in negotiation is often underestimated because it is time consuming. And besides, it can be a desire to get straight to the point and start doing, which pushes the less tangible work of preparation into the background. The fourth question is how does best alternative to a negotiated agreement help parties avoid a weak agreement? Developing a best alternative to a negotiated agreement helps parties avoid a weak agreement by providing clear fallback plan and empowering them with leverage. These clear alternatives serve as your ultimate source of bargaining power and a crucial benchmark for evaluating all proposals. Alternative to an agreement might involve an agreement with another party, unilateral action, mediation or arbitration, and going to court. And next is the question 5.
Okay, so
It's
I
John.
I will introduce about the question 5 is how culture influenced the approach to the negotiations in Vietnam, the United States, and Europeans. Qua tiếp theo. So in Vietnam, we have negotiation is shaped by the high contact cultures. For instance, like rather than openly stating that I disagree, Vietnamese individual might say that let me think about it, and would serve as a cautious mean of declining and reserving harmony, and consequently, um, negotiation tend to emphasize relationship, harmony, and dignity rooted in the Confucian values. Next is sorry, and the cultural aspect is the civil procedure card in the Article 10. That's the court is tasked with conducting conciliation in the Article 205 emphasize that the principle of voluntariness which must not contradict law or ethics. In the Article 206 and 7 mandate that judges must attempt to conciliate unless prohibited by law. Therefore, conciliation and negotiation are not only traditional value of the harmony treaties, but also an established legal principle within Vietnamese civil law. And in contrast, the United States represents a close contact individualist culture. Americans are often direct, explicit, and data-driven. For example, in a commercial negotiation, they may say plainly that this contract is unacceptable and this reflects the focus on the self-pay in the think-to-me-face negotiation theory, meaning that negotiators prioritize asserting the stance and protecting personal interests rather than saving the counterpart's face. And in the ideal practice, negotiations is the first step before mediations or arbitrations, particularly in the U.S. legal system, had a court annex negotiation settlements, which negotiations are conducted under the supervision or encouragement of the court. Um, Negotiation within the European Union are shaped by a legal structure that is a simultaneously multinational and based on rules with multiple member states and each possessing distinct interests and legal frameworks. So the European Union negotiations frequently depend on the shared principle, common regulations, and mechanisms designed to balance interest in order to reserve equity. For example, when dealing with a cross-border civil or commercial conflict, a single party is not able to impose unilateral terms, but rather must abide by a shared legal framework, such as the EU Mediations Directive. And this directive encourages amicable settlement while also recognizing the legal validity and enforceability of mediate agreement throughout the European member nations. And we will go to the question 6 is should good faith and transparency be mandatory conditions in the civil negotiations? So there are good reasons to say yes because I have some benefits like good faith ensure fairness, preventing one party from pretending to negotiate just to delay obligations, and transparency to help both sides access reliable information, avoiding situations where one party has access of fact. So this is also consistent with the international practice like the unilateral model law on the international commercial conciliations have also emphasized good faith and cooperation as a fundamental principle. However, making them absolutely legal requirement is quite problematic because good faith abstract and hard to measure. A refusal to compromise may be seen as bad faith, although it could simply mean protecting legitimate rights. And it treats as mandatory. Party might misuse the rule, accusing each other of lack of transparency to avoid agreement. So more importantly, the civil negotiations is based on the voluntariness and over strict rules could undermine its flexible nature. So I have solutions that is to recognize good faith and transparency as a guiding principle rather than absolute conditions. Law can require parties to participate actively and cooperatively, but not automatically invalidate negotiations if one side is not fully transparent. So, in conclusion, the good faith and transparency should guide civil negotiation to promote fairness, but they should not strict mandatory condition in order to reserve voluntariness and flexibility. So, this is the end of our discussion questions. So, I will move up next to the practical exercise. So, let's move to the exercise one is negotiation type identifications. So first is classify the following situations as the transactional negotiations or dispute negotiations. Before we classify it, I will have definitions about it. So transactions is refer to the bargaining that aim to create new agreement or business relationship, and it often involves drafting contract, merge, or joint ventures. So they do not face a current conflict, but seek a common ground to maximize the value and build long-term cooperations. But by in contrast, the dispute negotiation arise when the party already have a conflict, breach, or disagreement, and the purpose of negotiation is to set the dispute. So we will move next to the question. So first, I have a situation that two company negotiating the term of a 5-year self-contract. So this is a transactional negotiation because the party are working together to create a new business relationship and focusing on future benefit, not to uh, work out for the conflict or something like that. In the second one is a landlord and a tenant negotiating rent reduction due to the pandemic. And this is a dispute negotiation. An issue has already occurred and the parties are negotiating to resolve its consequences. And number three is two enterprise discussing a merge. So this is a transactional negotiation and the party are collaborating to create a new entity and agreeing on the term of that. Number four is an employee sued the company for wrongful terminations and the party later negotiate compensations. So this is a dispute negotiations at the negotiation takes place to resolve a pre-existing legal conflict and aim to find a compensation solution to end that dispute. We will move next to the exercise two. We have a situation like the company A in Vietnam export coffee to company B in Germany, and there's a dispute over the contract quality. So, about the company A for the Vietnamese exporter, determine the best alternative to a negotiate agreement depend on how the contest shipment can be handled if a settlement with company B isn't reached. So one potential approach is to find different buyer within the European market. However, since the good quality has been formally disputed, reselling at the original market price is less likely, potentially forcing company A to sell at a discount to limit further loss. And another option is to redirect the goods to the domestic market or the Asian market. But the market are generally offer considerably lower return than the European export market, resulting in reduced profit. And a company A could also initiate legal proceeding or submit the dispute to arbitration with internal body like the BIAC or ICC. So this is more viable if company A has a valid quality inspection certificate from the port of departure, which could prove the good met contractual quality standard. So consequently, company A can be considered relatively weak if company A heavily relies on access to the German or broader European market and its negotiation position is further weakened. And company B, the German importer, so have more viable and robust alternative. Germany is a leading coffee importer with access to various suppliers from major coffee producing countries like Brazil, Colombia, Ethiopia, and Indonesia. This supply diversifications allow Company B to easily switch to other suppliers if negotiation with Company A fail. So according to the Article 45 and 50 of the CISG, the buyer can request a price reductions, demand replacement of the non-conforming good, or declare the contract void in case of a fundamental breach. If necessary, Company B could also pursue international arbitration to claim damages resulting from the non-conformity. So in this regard, company B is considerably stronger than company A, especially if company has an independent inspection certificate showing their quality defect. And the stronger the BATNA, the more power each party has. And when the best alternative to negotiation agreement is strong, the party is confident in demanding favorable terms and is willing to walk away if the deal is worse than the alternative. Conversely, if the BATN is weak, they will have to accept a deal closer to the other party request. In other words, the best alternative to negotiation agreement determines the minimum flexibility of each party and determines the zone of possible negotiations. So we will move to the exercise 3, and we will have a situation like this. The supplier requests payment of $100,000 for the delivered goods. The retailer claims that 200% of the goods are defective and will only pay $80,000. So we will move to step 1 is reparations. Each party determines maximum and minimum target. So about the supplier, the primary objective is to receive $100,000. The lowest acceptable payment is 900,000, which include a 20% warranty for the flaw product or a price reductions on the subsequent delivery. And the supplier also report potential compromise, like discounts or an extended warranty. And about the retailer, the main objective is to pay $80,000, equivalent to 20% of the value of the defective item. And the minimum design payment amount to accept is $70,000 conditional on the supplier repairing or warranting the faulty items. And the retailer sets trade-offs such as covering certain shipping or surcharges in exchange for extended. We will move to the step 2, information exchange, and both sides state their viewpoint. So to state what steps to learn. So to state this viewpoint, we will have we will act like a retailer and supplier with the help with Anh, and Anh will be supplier and I will be retailer, and we will state our point as the retailer and supplier. And we have accepted the shipment and determined that 20% of the product are technically damaged as per the contract. Payment is only due for qualified product, and so we are currently willing to pay $80,000 for this shipment.
Reply, we apologize for this issue. However, shipment was manufactured according to the contract's specifications and delivered on time. Please supply us with a specific quality inspection report or detailed feedback from your inspection team.
Attached is the inspection report from the third-party testing laboratory, which confirmed that 20% of the products in the shipment are substandard, along with the illustrated photos and specific report. We expect a satisfactory resolutions.
Thank you for the information. We will review the report immediately. First, was any damage reported by the carrier upon receipt of the goods?
Okay, so we will move to step 3. It's about the clarify, explain, score, and debate data. So the involved party will extensively discuss the cost and responsibility related to the 20% defective good. And the goal is to determine whether the defect are the results of manufacturing, transportation, storage, or other factors, and to review the contract term, including quality commitment and quarantine. As per the contract, the supplier guarantee the quality of the good, and if damage occurred during transport, the FOB delivery term may place the risk on the seller. In our inspection department confirmed the product was defective upon delivery. We are still step three.
As per the contract, the supplier guarantees the quality of the goods. If damaged, we acknowledge this information. Our previous humans have met inspection requirements to ensure fairness. We are willing to re-inspect the shipment at an independent examiner or to be responsible for the warranty on the warranties to maintain our reputation. Regarding the contract, could your company specify the warranty or discount stipulations for the
The contract includes a 6 month warranty for manufacturer defect, and we request that the supplier address the issue by fixing, repairing, or replacing the defective part. We also need clarifications on the locations of costs associated with return or refunds.
You understand? If the defect is manufacturing related, we will cover the warranty cost. To clarify responsibility, you can conduct a survey of the defective goods with your company or send samples to the factory for review. If the defect is related to the storage, transportation, the supplier will consider offering partial support to the company.
Okay, so we will move to the step four negotiations, and we will making offer and counter offers.
Our proposal, our proposal is that your company pays $95,000 for this shipment, reflecting a discount, 5% discount. We will also be responsible for 12-month warranty covering all defects within shipment. Please review this offer.
While the 5% discount it appreciates will still find its right and suitable given the initial loss of 20%. So our offer is to pay $55,000 with the supplier covering the remaining 15,000 to repair or replacements.
To reach an agreeable solution, we accept a payment of $9,000 as compensation. We reduce the price of your next shipment by 10%. Furthermore, the original warranty commitment remains in effect.
The offer of the 19,000 along with a 10% discount on the next purchase is acceptable. However, we also request that the supplier promptly issue a revised invoice and finalize the repair warranty documentations for the defective part. And we will move to the last step is step five. We will end it. And in conclusion, we have the retailer will pay $19,000. The supplier will handle $20,000 defective part with 1 year warranty or repair.